Good morning. Welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning, I'm going to get rid of the crabgrass and all of the other weeds in my lawn. You can see this grass is just loaded with clover. I don't really mind the clover, but that's going to go as well. This is a bigger problem. This is foxtail. The stuff I'm spraying is going to kill that as well. The stuff I'm spraying is mesyltrione, and it kills crabgrass, yellow foxtail, a bunch of the weedy grasses, barnyard grass, all of that stuff, as well as the broadleaf stuff. I'm not 100% sure. This is lamb's quarters. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to kill that or not. We'll find out. But it will kill the clover and the crabgrass like this. And just from looking at the lawn, it's kind of hard to tell what is weeds and what is not. But for the most part, this really coarse looking stuff like this is generally crabgrass or another weedy grass. Mesyltrione is actually a generic Tenacity, and Tenacity's been used for a good long time on golf courses and by professional landscapers. It'll kill this. I believe this is bird's foot trefoil. This is smartweed. It'll kill a couple different kinds of smartweed. I'll show you on screen a list of all the stuff it kills, and I'm not sure if that list is inclusive or not, but it kills a whole bunch of weeds. It will kill this. I believe this is dandelion. First thing I got to do is get this stuff burned and clean up a little bit here. Then we'll go to the other side and mix up some of the mesyltrione. One thing to note though, it's easier to mix that in warm water than cold water. So if you have a source of warm water, which I do on the other side of the house, mix it that way. If you can't mix it with warm water, you're going to have to shake it really well. I was just picking up some dog poop here, and you can really see that this lawn is a total mixed bag. It's got some really nice green spots. It's got a ton of clover, and it's got all of this yellowing here. I don't know if the yellow is foxtail. Problem is, if it is foxtail, the foxtail's going to die, and we may have a bare spot here. That's why you have to do the next step as well, which is overseeding, which will be in a different video, but you really have to do it all the way. You can't just do one of the steps in a lawn repair and expect to have anything from it. Yeah, you can really see the yellow right through here. We're going to come back and look at this stuff at a later date. It takes up to 3 weeks for this generic Tenacity to kill all this stuff. So we'll come back then and see if it's killed some of this stuff out. We're going to be overseeding either later today or tomorrow as well, and that may be sprouting by that time, but you'll really be able to tell if it kills this whole area or not. Alright, that's as clean as it needs to be back here. The wind is picking up. I couldn't spray yesterday because the wind was 15 miles with gusts a bit higher than that, and you don't want to spray above 14 miles an hour. So I'm going to hurry it up, get some mixed up, and get to spraying this stuff. Okay, it just took me forever to get all that stuff cleaned up over there. I think I'm going to spray a bit in this area as well. I still have to finish up this yard. I'm not going to show any of that. I'm going to spray some of this too. I'll show you when we get to the other side, but first, let's mix some of this stuff up. This comes in an 8-ounce bottle, and it's called Meso 4 SC Select. And it uses a ½ teaspoon per gallon. So, using their handy-dandy gauge, 2 teaspoons equals 4 gallons. Real simple. Alright, and then with each gallon of water, we're going to use 1 tablespoon of surfactant, and that's what they call for. The surfactant makes your herbicide spread out more evenly, and it makes the plant absorb it easier. So don't forget the surfactant. Don't forget the warm water, and I'm using a blue indicator dye so I can see where I spread. This is going to take, I'm going to guess, probably 6 tanks, possibly 8 tanks of this. The big old lawn up that way, which is about 1/4 of an acre, took 32 gallons, which is 8 of these tanks full. All right, let's get one mixed up and get spraying. This tank was leaking at the wand for the longest time, and I was trying to get a new wand, but I was unsure where to get it from. And then I thought, well, let me check the wand and see if I can fix it. And sure enough, I did fix it. So if you want to see that, there's a video on how to take apart the valve and clean it to fix a leak. Alright, we have outdoor warm water, so I'm actually putting all hot water in here because we have an on-demand water heater and it takes a while to heat up. So by the time it heats up, this should just be nice tepid warm water. Alright, about a 1/2 tank. Now, I mix this up ahead of time and let the bubbles settle. Now I gotta kind of figure out where the surface is. Getting harder and harder to see as this gets emptier, but that's about what we want right there. Now I'm going to rinse the syringe a couple times, suck in some water and squirt that into the tank, and then I can add the other ingredients. Four tablespoons of surfactant. This is a non-ionic surfactant. This is basically a glorified dish soap, and I'm spilling it all over the place. And 4. Ah, incredible. Now for this stuff. If you get this stuff anywhere, it's going to be everywhere. It is just so messy. You just make sure you pour the jug sideways like this. Few glugs. Put the cap on and shake, and then add the rest of the water and shake again. It's just kind of nasty. It's like having dish soap all over the place. nice warm water. Now I'm going to fill the tank. Surfactant on the side of the tank. This is still all warm water. By the time this gets hot, this will have long since been filled. I don't want to use hot water, I want to use warm water. So the water in the tank will just be warm. Just about there. And that's it, 4 gallons. Shake it up one more time, and we're off to the races. Rinse off the top. Okay, good to go. Okay, that's one 4-gallon tank, and unfortunately it missed this tiny little bit right here, but I sprayed a lot over into the deep weeds over there. So a 4-gallon tank would have done an average lawn about this size. And this is kind of the size of other houses that we lived in. So I would imagine 2 or 3 of them 4-gallon tanks would do an average city-sized lawn. All right, I'm going to mix up another tank. I'm going to get that done. And then I'm just going to switch to the big lawn on the other side and get that completely done before doing anything back here. I got the second tank sprayed. I got along the side of the house over by that tree over there, got some of this stuff, and then I detailed the side of the house and all along the gardens there, and the driveway for the road into the woods, and I got that on both sides. And that was about it for the second tank. I have the third tank right there, and I'm hoping to at least get to right here with that tank. The lawn narrows up here, so maybe I'll get a little further on those tanks, but then it goes down the hill to the dry lot there. It's a good amount of work, and it's really windy, so I better get going before this wind picks up anymore. Okay, I got tank 4 all mixed up and ready to go. A little bit more about the mesotrione. Mesotrione is both a pre-emergent and a post-emergent herbicide, or herbicide, I can never say that right. It really shines at the post-emergent. It'll kill all the crabgrass and stuff that's growing at the moment, but it also will stop the seeds from sprouting, but it'll let your, like, bluegrass seeds grow, but it won't let the weed seeds grow, which is pretty good. But it's not the best pre-emergent in the world, and it only lasts for a couple weeks. So, come spring, I'm going to be spraying this again, the entire set of lawns, and I'm going to be adding pre-emergent, an extra pre-emergent as well, one that'll last, 3 months or so, and will stop this stuff from coming up next year. That should give the entire area a huge head start on just growing bluegrass. I'll probably add some other kinds of grass in here at some point, other fine grasses, but for the most part, I'm going to start with just bluegrass. All right, I got 4 gallons mixed up, and I don't have to go down the hill there, so I'm guessing I can get at least to the fireplace. I should probably move the gator up a little bit because I can probably get to the other side of it. Let me move that and then we'll get going. All right, it's raining. I think this is going to pass right over. There's not supposed to be rain today. I'm hoping it passes over because I don't think this stuff is rain fast yet. As soon as it's dry, it's rain fast, so hopefully it's all right. If it's not one thing, it's two. Well, that was fast. I started walking to the house to get some coffee to wait this rain out, and it stopped on the way there. So, almost nothing. All right, let's get back to spraying. All right, we're on tank 5, just mixed it up. This spray did not go as far as the other spray, and there's a reason for that. There's a whole bunch of things that can affect the spray, and the biggest one is the wind. With a fan tip, like I have on there, the further off the ground you are, I think they recommend like 15 inches or so, which is about that high. You get a nice, maybe 2-foot spray pattern. But when a wind picks up, you have to lower that down, otherwise it's just going to spray away. The closer you are to the ground, the sooner the material is going to contact the ground and not spray away. There's a bunch of other factors that determine how far your spray goes as well. One of them is how much you pump, which affects the pressure. If you pump a lot and get real nice high pressure, you can move really quick, and that's another thing that affects it, is the speed that you move. So under perfect conditions, you would have it pumped up pretty far so that you get a nice fine mist, and you would walk really fast and have the spray nozzle about 15 inches off the ground. Then you would get a real nice 2-foot wide path, and you would put it on really quickly because you're walking pretty fast. When a breeze comes, you have to slow down your pumping so that you get coarser particles that aren't going to blow away as easy, and you have to move closer to the ground, which makes your pattern a bit narrower. It takes longer, and you end up putting a little bit more on than you want, but it is what it is. This time of year, living up on a ridge like this, we are way up on a ridge. It's kind of hard to tell because it drops down right there and then goes back up on the other side. It looks like it's continuous trees, but it's, I don't know, maybe 600 feet down right over there. You can probably tell a little bit more over here. But it is what it is. I really need to get this done before the wind gets too bad. I couldn't spray at all yesterday because it was right around 16 miles an hour. It's not supposed to be over 12 miles an hour today, but 12 miles an hour is definitely not optimal, so I'm going to have to move this along. That was a hell of an accident. The wind caught the camera up there, and it ended up right over here, but I was looking all over on the ground around the gator and couldn't find it for the longest time. It was kind of hidden up in there. Oh well, this is tank number 6, just mixed it up. This is not going as far as I'd like it, but it is what it is. I'm going to concentrate on the septic mound, kind of like from here over on this spray, just because I don't want to walk backwards on the mound right in this part. It's kind of steep. Hopefully I can get this part just going up and down the hill this way. All right, let's get back at it. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. This was 34 gallons of spray, and I don't know how big this lawn is. It's got to be, approaching a half acre, right around there. I think this lawn, that lawn, and the lawn up there all together is probably about an acre. That'd be a good guess. So what's going to happen now is all this broadleaf stuff like this and the clover, as well as the weedy grasses like this right here, are all going to start turning white and dying. The bluegrass and other good grasses are going to turn a little bit white as well, because this is the first time they're being sprayed, but on future sprays the long grass shouldn't turn white. Or at least not much. But it will make a comeback, and the other stuff will just die. Like this stuff right here, and there's a bunch right through here. It's actually going to look much worse before it looks better, but next year sometime, this is going to look fantastic. I'll be giving some updates here and there, and I'll show this stuff dying back, and then what it looks like after everything's died back, and then you'll get one final look before winter as the bluegrass, the overseeding, starts taking effect. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below, and if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.